what happened to the home sales in Chaska for 2023. So I'm going to move the camera just a little bit so you can get a better look, and then we're going to talk it through here. First of all, the Twin Cities region and Chaska are represented by the blue and the red lines, and we're looking at this point at all property types, which includes single family and condo and townhouse, okay, and all construction types, new construction and previously owned. I'm actually going to click on the previously owned because basically when we have a new construction, if you can see here, or all construction types, you can see that the price changes wildly, and new construction compares to new construction. New construction to previously owned really don't compare well together, and there's a number of reasons why, but that's for a different show. All seller types, as opposed to traditional, which is regular, lender mediated foreclosure or short sale, are both included in lender mediated. We're just going to do all seller types because there's so little foreclosures on the market today. Size and bedrooms is pretty much irrelevant. So what we want to do is take a look at what was happening in, let's say, December 2022 as far as the median sales price in Chaska. Now again, that's all property types, single family, townhomes, etc. And you can see it was $329,625, and then we can follow it up. See this red line here, April 2023 is when it peaked at $415. Dropping down and then up and then down and so on and so forth. That's why we use a median, not an average. And last month, December of 2023, so basically the beginning to the end, sale prices in Chaska on the median went up just under 4%. I don't know if you can see that right there, 3.9%. In the Twin Cities, they went up about 2.6, I think that is. So let's look at a couple of other statistics. I think it's important to look at, shows to pending. Now, shows to pending is how many showings does it take to sell the house. Now, pending means that the home has no more, the buyer has secured it, there is not an inspection. If there was an inspection, it's been cleared. So let's take a look at that. How many showings does it take to get to that? In December of 2022, Twin Cities region, it was 11 showings, and Chaska, it was 11 showings. And what it was at the end of December, so the beginning to the end of 2023, Chaska was 8 showings and the Twin Cities was 11 showings. So that is a decrease, which means that homes that were reasonably priced were selling at a faster clip than the Twin Cities, but 8 days is a really short period of time. So what we want to look at also is to take a look at homes for sale total. Homes for sale in Chaska in total, let's change that to monthly. Let's see here. So December of 2022, there were 21 homes for sale in Chaska. Now that's just on the market, 21 homes. And then by the end of the year, the amount of homes on the market at that moment in time for December last month was 25. So there is a slight increase for the amount of homes on sale, but that's not a good reflection of the marketplace. Here's why: because more homes sit on the marketplace, sit out there and unsold in the wintertime because it's Minnesota. And up until 2 weeks ago, we had several weeks of winter reprieve. So let's take a look at what really matters in this context. It would be closed sales. So if we go back to December of 2022, there was a total of 32 closed sales in Chaska, and it dipped down, then it went up, it peaked at 39. Again, this is per month, and then now it's going down again to 24. So if we look at start to finish, 32 sales to 24 sales, that's about a 25% reduction in the amount of closings over the previous years. So if you look at these humps right here, this is the summer season of these peaks, spring and summer, and you can see that they're much, much higher because, we move in the spring and summer and early fall far more than anything else. So when it comes down to what's happening in the Chaska real estate market, it's a very strong, robust market. But some sellers will be like, hey, is it a good time to sell? Is it a bad time to sell? And things like that. It's never a bad time to sell. But I think the most important thing for a seller to understand is, what am I going to get price per square foot, at least kind of as a starter of, where I can kind of plan on it. And again, these are all property types. So I'm going to do a little bit of a fun thing here in a moment, but let's take a look. So December of 2022, the Twin Cities region was the median sales price per square foot was $179 price per square foot. Chaska was $170, so just a touch less than the Twin Cities. Now, traditionally, that number, by the way, is all the finished square footage, not just above grade. So which would be, like if it's a 2-story, it would be two levels. If it's a Rambler or a 1-story, it would just be 1 level. But this number is usually all of those. So meaning all levels, all finished square footage. So now if we look at the end of the year, homes were selling at $181 a square foot. And again, we can see the the up and down, but they were selling for $181 a square foot, which is a 6.5 increase. So what that is telling me is, given everything else equal, when we compare December to December, it is a realistic statement to say that the median home price in Chaska was 6.5% more valuable. Now, if we look at, a lot of other areas, for instance, Eden Prairie roughly between 3 and 4%, depending upon which statistic you use. Chaska is doing very, very well. Now, what I want to point out here is, I'm going to click over to single family. So this is just single family, and again, not new construction, and I think you'll see the bigger differences here. So in Chaska, it was price per square foot was $169 a square foot a year ago, and then as of last month, it was $165 a square foot. And of course, it did, it peaked out and so on and so forth, but it's a 2.4% reduction. Now, when we actually look at the amount of closed sales, we're not looking at a lot of homes. There's 14 homes that sold last month in Chaska, single family homes, okay? So, and this is something important statistically, if you're a buyer or a seller, especially if you're a seller, statistics matter until they don't matter. And I think that's the easiest way for me to put it. They really do matter until they don't matter. And there's just a whole bunch of other things that matter as well. So if we take a look at all of these statistics, Chaska is very healthy in many, many ways. And it's a great time to sell. And it's going to continue to be for 2024 a great time to sell. It's going to be a good time to buy and an even better time to buy because interest rates have been fluctuating down, and I believe they're somewhere in the 6.5%, 6 3/4 range, which, by the way, at the beginning of last year, so a year ago, they were at about the same. And then they spiked up considerably in the summer and the fall. So there is no reason to believe that with the limited amount of supply and lower interest rates, slightly lower interest rates, 2024 is not going to be a good year for sellers and a slightly better year for buyers. So they're not going to have a lot to choose from, but the rates will be a little bit more, and it's going to save them, $50, $100, $200, $300 a month. Bye-bye.